ruthless crews in Chicago. Plus, they had some of the hottest rappers in the city. But after internal beef, street drama, and tragic deaths, FBG fell apart fast. And this is the shocking story about how it all went down. Before FBG, aka Flyboy Gang, was started by FBG Young, Dutchy, Duck, and some others, all of them had already been in the streets for years. Duck eventually became the face of the crew after he blew up in the rap game, but he had a name in the trenches way before anyone outside of Chicago knew who he was. Duck came up on the south side of the city and had to live with his grandma after his dad got hit with a 20-year sentence. His brother Brick was repping a crew called STLEBT, and by the time Duck was a teenager, he had already followed his brother's footsteps and was putting in work for the set. He had a reputation for putting hands on people and never losing a fight, and back in the day, he allegedly even went up to O Block and fought the ops in
So Duck was like a Chicago Mike Tyson. Okay, dude.
their own territory. Before 2011, there was already a lot of violence and street beef going on, but that year is when the south side of Chicago turned into an all-out war zone, and one of the first deaths in the war between the GDs and BDs is what started FBG. Duck and a lot of other GDs were tight with a teenager named Tuka. There's a lot of different rumors about how active Tuka actually was, but he was one of Duck's best friends, and in 2011, the ops caught him at a bus stop and shot him to death. Tuka's death was a huge loss for the GDs, and it ain't take long for him to clap back and escalate the situation even more. Most drill fans know the name O Block. Back then, the area was still known as Wick City, but that all changed after the GDs got revenge for Tuka. A BD named Odie Perry was allegedly involved with Tuka's death, and just 8 months later, he ended up dead too. On Tuka's birthday, OD was riding his bike down the street when some shooters rolled up on him and started letting off shots. After he died, Wick City changed their name to O Block in his honor. Nobody was ever booked for his murder, but rumors say that a girl named KI and FBG Butter were the ones who took him out. FBG Wooski shouted him out on Twitter for making O Block. Others say that MOB Scrap was behind the hit. Scrap ended up getting killed too, but before he died, he tweeted, "Fuck O Block, we made O Block. Them other niggas lying, no bullshit." FBG Duck's Exposing Me remix is one of the craziest diss tracks in Chicago drill, and on the song, Scrap's brother Rooga raps, "Got some information that you bitch niggas would hate to know. Niggas talk that shit, but they don't even know who made the O. Drop a bag on your head, my shooters get paid to blow." After Tuka died, Duck and the others started FBG and were putting in work in the booth. FBG Dutchy was rapping too, but a reporter named Trenches News said that he was more focused on the streets than making it in the industry.
But Dutchy wasn't taking that shit serious, cause Dutchy was a real street nigga then. He wasn't he wasn't doing that shit. He was rapping, but Dutchy was motherfucking.
What's the point of having a ski mask on if you're not gonna use a voice changer and nothing like that? How does that make sense?
He was activated.
Trenches News also claims that he was the one who got FBG their first shine on the radio. He was in the area and saw the potential of dudes like FBG Duck, Billionaire Black, and King Yella, so he started helping them out with the rap game.
And when I heard the movement, I'm like, damn, all y'all rap? So I figured like I help them and manage them.
By the time Duck and the rest of FBG were trying to break into the industry, the BDs was already blowing up and running Chicago's drill scene. Chief Keef became a superstar off the track Don't Like, and other BDs like Lil Durk and Reese was popping off too. According to Trenches News, Keef and the other BDs wasn't just going to war with the GDs in the street. They was trying to play industry games too and told Interscope not to work with Duck and the rest of FBG.
She called me with Interscope. She was on the three-way call with Interscope. Interscope asked them was they into it with Keef. These little niggas instead of playing they role, these little niggas talking about they gonna send up the motherfucking Interscope building if they ran into Keef. So Interscope stopped fucking with us. That's how they got black. Interscope told them they was blackballed. Keef them, Dirk them, all them was telling them not to fuck with them because they rob, kill, and steal.
But even though they weren't backed by some major labels like some of the BDs were, FBG didn't let it stop their grind. Duck, Wooski, Billionaire Black, King Yella, and Lil J were all making a name for themselves in Chicago. They started getting shows and some play on the radio. But according to Trenches News, it didn't take long before there was already internal drama going on in the crew. He said that back when everyone was just getting started, he helped him get a show in Gary, Indiana. The whole crew was supposed to get paid $7,500 for the show, plus whatever they made at the door. Lil J didn't even want to go at first, but Trenches went with KI to pick him up and made sure he went. They put FBG Cash Out's baby mama in charge of handling the money from the door, and she ended up taking all of it.
Well, Manny put Cash Out baby mama on that motherfucking dough, and that bitch took everything. Shout out to her though. She a real motherfucker. She took all the money and the weed that was made.
Duck and the other rappers were all paid less than $100.
How's he gonna take your stuff and then you gonna give her a shot? How does that make sense?
But that wasn't the only money issue that FBG was having. And there are a lot of rumors that Duck's manager Manny had been playing with his money the whole time they was working together. Plus, Lil J allegedly stole some cash from Duck too. Back in 2017, Duck told Zach TV that Jay stole some petty money from him.
Whatever I tell folk them, they gonna fall back.
Did he steal from you or wanted somebody?
On some for real shit, he stole some little petty money.
Apparently, some other dudes in the crew wanted Duck to put the green light on Jay's head over the situation, but Duck told him to just put hands on him instead. While Duck and the rest of FBG were dealing with the internal drama and trying to make it in the rap game, they was taking losses in the streets too. K.I. was one of the BD's most hated ops, and there are rumors she was involved with all kinds of hits in the city. She allegedly slid on the ops constantly and would clown them on social media with tweets like, "Shout out OD for being target practice, LOL, #STL. Some reports link her to over 20 shootings in the city, but it's not clear how many of those were really her. She definitely had a rep for being a killer though, and one time some of her DMs leaked that showed someone offering her money to take out G Herbo. One of the wildest things about K.I. is that she would flirt back and forth with King Von, but then they said death threats to each other too. K.I. allegedly ended up killing Chief Keef's cousin Blood Money, and the next day Von allegedly caught her in the street and shot her 9 times. In April 2014, K.I. was with FBG Butta walking to Wooski's crib. K.I. had been active for years, but she still made the mistake of dropping her location on Twitter. After the ops saw where she was, it ain't take long for them to roll up on her and start letting off shots. Nobody was ever booked for the shooting. Leaked paperwork proved that the cops believe Von was involved, but he was killed in Atlanta before they could ever take it to trial. There's a lot of evidence that points to Von being the shooter. Other dudes from O Block shouted him out on Twitter after she died, and on the track War With Us, he rapped, "Knock all that meat out your fucking taco. Hollow tips spinning like cyclones. FaceTime a nigga like iPhone. Put a pretty op bitch in a morgue, huh? Call that bitch drop dead gorgeous. Damn, I'm heartless. Bitch, you can call me the Tin Man." 1 year before K.I. was killed, someone also tried to take out FBG Duck, but he only took a leg shot and made it out alive. He told DJ Vlad,
But the second time I got shot, I was leaving the liquor store. You know, motherfucker followed me. I ain't see it coming. You feel me? Motherfucker got up on me. I'm just glad they ain't killed me. You feel me? Motherfucker shot me in the leg.
Duck had been shot before that too in the ankle, but he told Vlad that he wasn't going to leave Chicago even after getting shot twice. Duck said that he didn't want to leave because he knew how to move in Chicago and stay safe. Plus, he had to take care of his people.
It's just like, in Chicago, I know better. You feel me? Like, I know what to do and what don't to do. And what not to do, you feel me? And it's like, now how I move around, shit, I'm safe, you feel me? I ain't gonna say too much.
Duck wanted to take everyone to the next level, but in 2017, he suffered another huge loss when his brother FBG Brick and his cousin Kobe Mack were both shot and killed. Rumors say that C Murda from O Block was behind the hit, but nobody was ever booked for their deaths. Brick and Kobe Mack both getting killed was a massive blow to Duck and the rest of FBG, but Duck didn't let the pain slow him down. 1 year after losing his brother and cousin, he finally broke into the mainstream with the track Slide and racked up millions of views. Duck finally had his momentum up, but FBG was still taking losses. The same year he started getting more shine on his name, his homie Wooski got shot in the head outside of the funeral for Dusky the Man. King Von and E-Dog FaceTimed Wooski before the funeral and said, "We gon' surprise bro." Nobody was ever booked for the shooting, but Von dropped the track back again and said, "At your funeral, I might just slide. Rest in P, nigga. Shoot up everybody that's outside. Bet Wooski feel this one. I'll bet Wooski still twitching. He changed, something different." Wooski luckily survived the headshot, but he hasn't been the same since. Last year, Lil Durk took another shot at him on the track Computer Murderers and raps, "Check on your mans. I heard he got hit in his head." But he almost died, so I can't say his name because he ain't dead. Keith and the other BDs allegedly tried to blackball Duck in the industry, but after Slide popped off, he signed a major deal with Sony Records and was on his way up in the rap game. Most of his hits were full of disses aimed at the ops, but in 2019, Duck actually showed love to some BDs on the track Chicago Legends and raps, "Okay, enough with the bro ties. Nah, I ain't crossing over a bitch, I'm not a bow tie. But I made this track to be fair. It's only right that I talk about both sides." He shouted out OTF Newski, Fredo Santana, and LA Capone, but it wasn't long before Duck went right back to clowning his dead ops. King Von and Mimo 600 came out with the track Exposing Me, and Von rapped, "Your homie died, I'm smoking that. I'm tired of smelling Tuka and Lil Mark, and I'm tired of scrap." Mimo sent shots at Tuka on the same track and said, Off that Zico, Tuka, and that Fats, we gon' put in work. Sneaky talking, saying this and that, just go and get 'em murked. Duck and Rooga clapped back with a remix of the track, and Duck said, he got caught in traffic. Walzo ain't get to finish his status. He on the internet laughing, capping, then got caught without it. Fuck your homie, he dead. You heard what I said. Fuck Sharoid, fuck D-Thing, and fuck Tirehead. He also clowned Memo's brother Lil Steve, who got shot and killed, and rapped, these niggas mentioning Tuka, I'll fuck around, sent you to meet him. I don't got my Glock, when I see an op, I'm bro, I'ma beat him. I'm smoking Lil Steve, can't breathe, thinking it's over. I wish I was right there when Lil Boo got slumped, I would've ran this shit over. Then Duck took it a step further in July 2020 when he dropped the track Dead Bitches and rapped, made Chicago legends, shit, that was just about business. Said I wasn't gonna diss the dead, and okay, I did it. But nigga, fuck T-Roy and OD, them dead bitches. Dissing dead ops got a lot of attention on Duck, but it also led to him getting brutally gunned down a month after the track dropped. In August 2020, Duck went to a rich shopping neighborhood in Chicago called Gold Coast with his girl. He always talks about moving smart and knowing how to stay safe in the streets. And Gold Coast definitely ain't the kind of place you'd expect to see a shooting. But after O-Block got the drop on them, 6 of them hopped in 2 cars and rushed across town to catch him. As soon as they spotted Duck, they jumped out of their whips and started letting off shots, and Duck tragically died from getting hit in the chest and neck. Everyone suspected O-Block as soon as it happened, and in
RIP to FBG Duck though, man. RIP.
2021, C-Thing, C-Murda, Moowop, Los, and Zell Money all got hit with a RICO case over it. Then in April 2023, a 6th O-Block affiliate named Teezy got booked for the shooting too. According to a witness who talked to the cops, someone affiliated with O-Block put 50K on Duck's head and later increased it to 100K for anyone who took him out. And even though it ain't been confirmed, almost everyone thinks Vaughn is the one who put the bag on his head. Duck and FBG used to put crazy pressure on the BDs in the streets and in the booth, but his death is what ended it all. After he died, Lil Durk proved how hated Duck was in O-Block when he dropped the track Shoulda Ducked and rapped, you come outside without your gun, you dumb as fuck. Ain't no quick run to the store. They pop out, fire you up. I told my PO through the gate that I get high as fuck. She asked me how high do I get? I told her high as Duck. With Duck gone, the only other rapper who was really putting on for the crew was FBG Cash. Cash ain't have nearly as much clout in the industry as his homie Duck, but he was still running up millions of views with tracks like Computer Murderers and Step Has Come. Cash was building up momentum by sending shots at O-Block on tracks like Back Again 2 times when he rapped, I don't want to hear no get back. The whole world witness your main sniper get his shit splat, and you ain't even get your lick back. Then he dissed Durk's brother D-Thing, rapping, look at what happened to D-Thing. They know how we came. Cash even went and threw up a middle finger in front of King Von's mural near O-Block, and Durk called him out for it on Computer Murderers and said, sneaking pics by Von mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin. He ain't heard a fly, so he ain't count. I still'll give him 10. Then just a couple months later, FBG lost their last hope in the rap game when Cash got caught in the street and killed. On June 10th, 2022, Cash was in a whip on the 1600 block of West 81st Street when 2 shooters rolled up on him and started letting off shots. Cash hopped out of his whip and tried to run off, but he fell to the ground and the witness said they saw someone stand over him and dump their whole clip. Cash wanted to break into the industry and make it out of the streets of Chicago, but unfortunately, he couldn't escape the trenches and they ended up costing him his life. After Cash died, FBG was pretty much finished in the industry, but while they suffered heavy losses and aren't anywhere near the level they used to be, their biggest ops ain't doing too good either. O-Block is one of the most famous hoods in America, but over the last couple of years, they've been taking heavy losses too. In 2020, the FBI brought down a huge indictment and arrested 23 O-Block affiliates and found 24 guns, several kilos of cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, crack, and over 50K in cash. That was already a huge blow, but FBG Duck's death led to even more issues for them. Now O-Block is facing a RICO indictment too, and there's no telling what'll happen when dudes start talking. With cases like this, it's pretty much guaranteed that someone will flip to save themselves. Now there's a 6th dude wrapped up in the Duck murder indictment too, so there's an even higher chance that somebody will take a deal and tell the cops everything. O-Block and FBG were at war for years, but at the end of the day, nobody was gonna win. Everyone was just wrapped up in a brutal cycle of violence, and none of them were gonna try and squash the beef because both sides lost too many people to ever have peace.